Picture this. It's a drizzly Tuesday evening in London. You've legged it out of the tube at Leicester Square, dodged a sea of umbrellas, and now you're queuing outside a West End theater with a program in one hand and a slightly overpriced ice cream in the other. The curtain rises, the orchestra hits the first chord, and for the next couple of hours, everything feels effortless. But here's the thing. That apparent ease is, frankly, a bit of a con. Behind the velvet and the footlights is an operation that's closer to a logistics hub than a romantic night at the theater. Tonight, we're going backstage, not literally, sadly, unless you've got a pass into the hidden machinery that keeps a West End production alive when it's doing the same show 8 times a week. To understand the scale, start with the schedule. 8 shows a week sounds tidy on paper. Typically Tuesday to Saturday evenings, plus matinees on Wednesday and Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. In reality, it's a punishing rhythm. Actors have to deliver the same emotional peaks on command, stage managers must keep everything spot on, and the crew need to reset and repair at speed. If anyone tells you theater is just a bit of play acting, fair enough, but they haven't seen a company at 10:30 p.m. trying to get the stage back to preset for tomorrow while absolutely knackered. Let's begin with the beating heart of the whole enterprise, the stage management team. In many West End houses, you'll have a company stage manager, a deputy, and an assistant stage manager, often with a few extra hands depending on the size of the show. Their job is to coordinate everything that isn't the performance itself. Props, cues, quick changes, backstage traffic, safety checks, communication between departments, and the tiny, crucial details audiences never notice until they go wrong. On any given night, a stage manager is essentially running a live system with zero tolerance for downtime. The show is a moving train. You can't pause it, restart it, or ask the audience to wait while someone hunts for a missing hat. If a prop goes missing, you bodge a solution. If a costume zip breaks, you improvise. If a performer's microphone crackles, you swap packs in the wings with the precision of a pit crew. And all of this has to happen quietly, calmly, and without the audience being any the wiser. Now, about those cues, lighting, sound, automation, flies, follow spots. A big musical can have hundreds, sometimes thousands of cue points. Each one is triggered at a specific moment. A musical bar, a line of dialogue, a footstep into a particular area of the stage. It's not unlike air traffic control, except your aircraft are dancers in tap shoes and your runway is a stage that may also be a revolving turntable, a staircase, or blimey, a trapdoor. That brings us to technical maintenance. The public imagines that once a set is built, it simply exists. In reality, sets age, warp, and fatigue under constant use. Consider a door on stage that gets slammed, opened, locked, or leaned on 8 times a week. That's not a door, it's a stress test. Hinges loosen, latches misalign, paint chips, floor surfaces get scuffed and become slippery. A good technical team treats the show like a living thing. It needs constant care to avoid injury and failure. Most shows have a daily routine called the check. Before the company even arrives, crew members run through a list. Is the revolve aligned? Are the automation sensors reading properly? Are the moving lights behaving? Is the comm system clear? Is the smoke machine topped up? Are the safety rails secure? If a show involves flight, pyrotechnics, or heavy moving scenery, the checks become almost ritualistic. It's not melodrama, it's risk management. Theater is charming, but gravity is not forgiving. Then there are costumes. From the auditorium, a costume looks like a finished object. Backstage, it's an ecosystem. Wardrobe departments track repairs, laundering, and alterations with military-level organization. Shirts need pressing, jackets need relining. Hemlines must be adjusted when performers change shoes or when understudies step in. And after 8 shows a week, even proper fabric starts to give up the ghost. Quick changes are a world of their own. Imagine going from a full suit to a battle outfit in 45 seconds while sweating, out of breath, and trying not to knock off your own wig. Dressers are the unsung heroes here. They choreograph clothing the way a conductor shapes music. They know which button can be faked with Velcro, which zip must be handled gently, and precisely how to pin a costume so it looks immaculate under stage lights. Let's talk about sound. Modern West End productions often rely on radio microphones, sometimes one per performer, plus spares. Each mic pack has batteries, frequencies, and placement issues. Sweat, makeup, movement, and fabric noise all cause problems. A sound team spends the day testing packs, labeling channels, preparing backups, and keeping the system clean so the audience hears dialogue rather than rustling and popping. In London, you also have the joy of radio frequency congestion. The airwaves are busy. A sudden burst of interference can creep in from nearby buildings, taxis, or broadcasting equipment. Sound engineers have to plan frequencies like chess moves, choose channels that won't collide, keep alternatives ready, and troubleshoot live. If that sounds stressful, it is. But when it's done well, you never think about it once. And lighting is both art and engineering. A lighting desk operator is following a script made of timings, fades, and intensity changes. A single cue can sculpt a performer's face, hide a scene change, or pull your attention to exactly the right place. Over time, though, lighting rigs drift. Lenses need cleaning. Lamps dim. Motors on moving heads wear down. The crew keeps it all consistent because consistency is the whole point. The audience expects Tuesday night to be as brilliant as Saturday night. Now, a word about understudies and swings, because this is where the West End becomes astonishing. Understudies cover principal roles. Swings cover ensemble tracks, and often multiple parts. They must be ready to step in with minimal notice. If a principal is ill, the call can happen hours before curtain or during the interval. In that moment, the company pivots, wardrobe adjusts, sound assigns a new mic plot. Stage management update cue. The orchestra may adapt if a vocal range differs slightly, and the understudy walks on as though it's the most natural thing in the world. British audiences can be wonderfully supportive of understudies. There's a particular kind of West End cheer, warm, slightly cheeky, and genuinely appreciative when someone steps up. It's one of those cultural moments where you feel the room collectively thinking, "Go on then, you've got this." Let's not forget the front of house operation. While backstage is focused on the show's internal machine, front of house staff manage the audience's experience. Ticketing, seating, latecomers, access needs, interval flow, and the delicate art of telling people they can't bring a glass bottle into the stalls. They're also dealing with British theater customs like the quiet debate over whether it's acceptable to unwrap sweets during a monologue. Spoiler, it's not. And then there's the financial reality. Keeping a show running is eye-wateringly expensive. Theater rents are high, staff wages add up, marketing never stops, and maintenance costs are relentless. A show doesn't just need applause. It needs bums on seats. Producers watch weekly grosses, discounts, and group sales. If ticket revenue drops, the team must decide, do we refresh the marketing? Bring in a known performer? Offer deals? Or is it time to close? This is where West End theater becomes a business as much as an art. A production can be critically adored and still lose money. Conversely, something lightweight can run for years because it reliably sells. It's not always fair, but it is the economics of live performance. And that economic pressure filters right down to daily decisions. Whether a part can be recast, whether a scenic element can be simplified, whether the show can afford extra crew on a busy week. There's also the matter of union agreements and working conditions, which in British theater are essential for safety and sustainability. The schedule is demanding, so rules around breaks, turnarounds, and performance limits matter. Without them, the 8-show week becomes a recipe for burnout. Even with protections, the lifestyle can be rough. People miss weekends, birthdays, and normal evenings. You might see your mates on Monday if you're not catching up on sleep. What makes it all worthwhile, though, is the peculiar magic of repetition without sameness. Each audience changes the temperature of a show. A laugh lands early, and the pacing shifts. A hush falls at a quiet moment, and the actors lean into it. A moment of improvisation in response to a tiny mishap can become legendary backstage. The show is the same, but it's never quite identical. There's a phrase theater people use: the show must go on. It can sound corny, but it's a genuine ethos. Not because people are martyrs, but because theater is a promise. An audience has paid, traveled, arranged babysitters, booked trains, and chosen this night. The company, in return, has committed to delivering the performance safely, professionally, and with heart. So the next time you're sitting in a plush seat, watching a chandelier descend, or a set spin, or a cast hit a final harmony so perfectly you feel it in your ribs, spare a thought for the invisible labor that got it there. The checklists, the repairs, the quiet hand signals in the wings. The wardrobe rail packed like a game of Tetris, the sound plot taped to a rack, the stage manager calling cues in a calm voice while chaos is politely waiting just off stage. And if you're ever tempted to describe theater as just entertainment, fair enough, but it's also engineering, endurance, finance, and an extraordinary kind of teamwork. Proper teamwork. The sort that makes you think, when it all comes together, that humans are rather impressive. Right. That's us for today. If you enjoyed this backstage look at the West End's hidden logistics, stick around for more C2 listening practice. Until next time, cheers and take care.